Monday. Thank you for joining me. My name is Alyssa Thomas from Penguin and Fish, where we make lovely and quirky hand embroidery kits. And I'm here every weeknight at 8:30 p.m. Central Time. And it's a time where we can relax and craft for about an hour in the evening here. And I work on projects from beginning to end, so you can be part of the process along the way and just come and chit chat. So we're continuing on the Splendid Sampler to quilt along. We're doing the Shared Squares block. It is all foundation paper piecing, so we are going to continue on that. We are quite a ways in, so be sure to check the replay videos on YouTube at Penguin and Fish Movies if you want to check out those. But here's like a couple pieces started here. This one only has, we have to just do two more tiny little pieces. It's foundation paper piecing, so we are sewing onto a foundation. In this case, the foundation is paper with the whole pattern printed out on there. So we'll go over that again. We do have a lot of our fabric already pre-cut, although I don't know if we have it all pre-cut. We just kind of went with it. Just cutting what we thought we need. There's a lot of similar shapes, so we just cut a pile of little squares and kept some strips for our longer strip pieces. Hopefully we have enough, otherwise we might have to cut more squares and strips, but I think we'll be good tonight at least. So I'm going to flip you guys around and we will get started tonight. Thank you for joining me. All right, I have this sewing machine out again. This is the black Kenmore from 1937 is when this guy was made. He's got some cool details on here. Really just like, I call it my steampunk machine. It's just kind of fun. So I got this guy out again. I do want to, let's just start out by measuring our 1/4 inch. So I did find one of these magnet bits. So this is a magnet you can use if you have a surface that's metal and like a iron like this. So it's got a pretty strong magnet there, and you measure, you find your 1/4 inch seam allowance. Ooh, geez, and then it just sticks right on there, and then at your 1/4 inch seam allowance, and then when you sew, you always know you got a 1/4 inch seam allowance because you can just butt it up against that. So this is my alternative to doing that little postcard, or my little business card. I had my business card taped here to kind of get the same effect. The thickness of the business card, you hit up against that, and then you automatically know you're at a 1/4 inch. But it stained my the pretty surface here, so it came off with water right away after just wiping it. But I did not like that. So one of you guys mentioned these magnets, and I'm like, oh, I have a couple of those hanging out somewhere. So I found one, and here we go. So I'm going to use I don't think I put a link to this, but you can find it at Perkins Dry Goods. It's by Celine Perkins. It's the Perfect Piecing Seam Guide, and what this does is you can measure your 1/4 inch or your scant 1/4 inch seam allowance from your machine here. It has a little hole right there, and you put your needle in there, and then that is your 1/4 inch seam allowance. So that is the plan. All right. So I am going to just lower my needle. You know, usually you want to do this without threading, but I'm going to do it with thread just because I don't want to re-thread everything. There we go. I'm just going to go in that far, and I think I got to go in a little more. There we go. Now it's on the needle there. I'm going to lower the feed dogs. I'm just going to kind of get this straight. Okay. And then scooch this guy. It really is kind of strong. All right. Right to there. I want it to be straight yet. All right. I think he's going to stay there, but I will, maybe he should be off the faceplate a little bit. All right. That's looking straighter, I think. All right, let's go with that. All right, I'm gonna come up here. Oh, that's a bummer. It sounds like some people's sound isn't going well. That is one thing that I'm planning on fixing real soon here. We're going to do our sound in a different way, so hopefully that helps a little bit. Sometimes it's whatever Facebook does. Oh, Christy says hers is good. Well, hopefully we can get that resolved, or it just resolved itself tonight yet. All right, so here are the strips and the little squares we've already pre-cut. This is only 2 colors in this design, so here it is again. I'm going with a white because I'm doing white in all my blocks. That's like one of the rules I put for myself. And then my other color I'm using is this pretty light tan. So I think we just pressed these all last time we did this. So I'm going to flip them around and let's put them in order again. Okay, it looks like it went from top to bottom. So I'm putting this in order of alphabet. So here we have the I section. So I'm going to go from A, I think it goes through K. And that's like the order we'll be sewing things in. I just kind of threw it all together last time we worked on this. So last week we got to do a lot of fun embroidery. I had such a good time doing that. We are definitely going to do more embroidery. We may even be doing embroidery for Finish It Friday. Can you believe that? It is Finish It Friday already this Friday again. So Finish It Friday is where we take off from working whatever we're working on, which is the Splendid Sampler, even though we did kind of just take off last week. But we're going to take off again, and Finish It Friday is the first Friday of every month, and we stop what we're doing and we work on a different project for a little while. Or like an unfinished project. So that will be happening on Friday this week. So stay tuned for that. I do have an email going out tomorrow that will talk about that. So stay tuned to your emails as well. Okay, so what we're doing now is we have all of our all of our pieces here. And look, there are so many. Can you believe that this is all going to get scrunched up into just 6.5 inches? So it's only going to be this tall when we're done. So it's kind of one of those crazy blocks that's like so many little pieces. So all right, they're all going from right to left, although the size of the pieces are different each time. And how I know that is, again, with some foundation paper piecing. This is the B section, and the numbers go in order. So B1, B2, B3 is the last one we did. And now we're on the 4s for all of them. So some of them don't have a 4, so we're actually done with this A piece. So I'm going to just set that aside. What else are we done with? I don't think we're done. Oh, the K. The K's at the bottom. We're also done with that piece. I only had 2. So let's just get rid of them from the get-go. Ooh, it looks like we're going to finish up the C and the I ones this time because they only have 4 pieces. So, ooh, that's exciting. Okay, so what I'm going to do is I'm just going to lay out what's coming next on all these. So we're on the 4 pieces of all of them. They are color-coded. It's kind of hard to tell, but just because of my photocopier. So there's the gray. There you can kind of tell gray and white. The white is going to represent my white fabric, and the gray is going to represent the tan. So I'm just going to lay what's coming next. So this one gets a tan square. This guy gets a white square. This is a little different than what I would normally do with foundation paper piecing. But you know, it's just because it's all the little squares together, it will, I'm doing like things all at once where I normally would go one at a time. So we're going to chain piece all these together. So E is a white one. Looks like they're kind of trading off this time. Oh, no, here it's the same. So G, H. They are all the same. Okay, now we have a longer piece, and that's our last piece. So I'm going to get one of these strips, and this one is too short, so we can't use that. Let's see. Ooh, is this one good? Oh, yeah. We might have even pre-cut these already. This one's perfect. So that will be that piece. And then our last piece gets a white square. So I'm going to... Oh, is this what you did? Did it all in a row like this? Okay. So next up, we're going to go through the foundation paper piecing process a little bit. I'm going to try and... let's see, what's the best way to do this? I think I'm going to scooch everything down, and then we'll have the little top area to work in. That's a weird reason to work like this. I kind of run out of space really quick, but I think it's kind of fun. Oh, yes, Lois, so we are working on the Splendid Sampler 2 quilt along. I'll show you guys the block again. We're working on the Shared Squares block right there. It is all foundation paper piecing. It's from the Splendid Sampler 2, and we are chain piecing it, which is atypical to my normal way of doing foundation paper piecing. And, you know, we've done this a lot before, so if I'm not explaining something very well this time, let me know. I can dig into it a little bit more. So we are working on the 4 piece, so that's B4 in this case. And so we are only concerned right now with the line in between B4 and whatever came before. So there's a whole lot of lines on here, right? But we're only concerned with B4, the one that we're currently on, and whatever came before. So the only thing in between those is that little short line there. So that's what we're going to work with. So I'm going to start by covering up everything that happened before and laying my stiff postcard onto that line. We're going to fold this over. That's revealing our seam allowance from before. I'm going to just pop on my add a quarter ruler. And we are going to trim that up. So that's our little scrappy for this one. So now we should be able to put right sides together. So right sides down, and then I'm going to just flip them up. Then right sides will be together, and we can flip that paper back. So this guy is ready to sew. I'm going to just leave them all in that position, I think, just so I can grab them. All right, ooh, this one is the last one in this series. This is C4, so this guy will be done. So same thing, covering up everything that happened before, flipping that over. Trim that up. And this guy gets the white square. Okay, yay, these are going to be so cute. Okay, next up, D4. This one's got a lot of pieces in. So I like the idea of chain piecing for speed, but I do kind of miss the going through the motion of going through all 3 of my stations, doing it this way. You get the speed because you're doing all one action all at once, like I'm doing all my trimming all at once. I cut all these pieces all at once. But I like the working one piece at a time for foundation paper piecing. think it's a little bit more calming. Like here in my head, I have the idea of like, oh, I'm gonna get lost in the pieces, but I mean, so far so good. We are kind of cruising through this tonight. It is helpful that it's all squares and rectangles. Those are much easier to do, like to wrap your brain around for foundation paper piecing. Okay. Trying not to, I'm doing it on top of these pieces, so I'm trying not to disturb those. I feel like this block would be like, it's kind of like a Tetris block. I feel like all these goofy pieces coming together and just landing like Tetris. I'm not on the new camera yet, although I may be by next week, Bonnie. I did clean up a little bit around here though, so my space is a little bit more organized. I have a little bit more room behind me here, so all that's kind of nice. We're getting there. We did do a test of everything when I visited my family 2 weeks ago. My brother, who does this stuff for a living, was up to, and so he helped me out, helped John out, and I think we got it figured. There's just like a little, we just have to do the setup at home here and just get it working. So I think I cleaned and prepped for that. And then we're good to go. Oh, Grace, if you can't see the comments, try swiping one way or the other. I think that helps them pop up. Although I think people have been having trouble with that lately, so Facebook might have done an update on that. We are almost through this part. Here's this long one though. So this is the one that's like opposite of that C piece up here, or the C piece. So this one is gonna get done this time. That'll be nice. Oop, I almost just cut right along there. I gotta get my add a quarter on there. That would have been scary. Oh, right sides together. Ooh, I don't think I put right sides together here. Nope. Ah, gosh. The right and wrong sides are so similar on these. Yeah, it's hard to tell. There we go. That's lighter, so this is the good side. Oh, the swipe works for you to turn it on and off. Okay, so it still seems to be working for people then. All right, this is a long piece here. Okay, one more. We got this J piece here. Oh, we're starting another one over here. I might actually, yeah, we're gonna risk it. I was gonna say I might glue this piece down just because it's long, but it's sometimes nice to glue those pieces down just because they get so floppy, but we're gonna risk it. I'm gonna just try and do it without. All right, that's it. So now we just gotta throw those pieces together. And we can sew now. Oh, this isn't right. This gets a dark piece. Uh-oh. Hopefully I didn't mess up somewhere else. So we'll have to do our double check of before we sew that I actually grab the right piece. This is a tan piece that this guy needs. All right. So we should be good now. I'm going to sew from, I'm just going to grab from the bottom and the top, and we will just be, we'll be chain piecing these all the way up all at once, and then we'll trim them all at once too. So, all right, let's get down to the machine. Here we go. All right, so I'm going to be using this guide. Actually, you know what? I won't actually be using that guide at all. You know what? I'm going to actually move that. We don't need that for paper piecing. At least not right now. I need to sew along this line here, so this needs to lay flat. So, silly me, we did not actually need that. Okay, so I'm going to go right, let's get that light on. I've been using that other sewing machine for the last few weeks, so it's goofy switching back to this one. Ooh, wow, yeah, we're going to have to get used to this again. It just kind of vrooms off. Oh, I haven't seen him yet, so Bonnie's asking if my brother got the 60s machine, so that's the one I've been working on is the 1960s Kenmore, 1967. And I offered it to him. We'll see what he says. I think he's nervous about not having all the tools, and he leads a pretty light-carrying life, so I don't know. I think he's worried about such a big extra thing to have around. But we'll see. I think he's going to be coming here in a week or so, and if he wants it, he can have it. I still have to oil it. I have to do that. I have to try and get those presser feet down. But when I cleaned up this week and I decided to play with this guy again, and I got that guy out of the way. So it's actually on the floor. I want to oil it and stuff yet, so I'll bring it back up here. Maybe later in the week or something, just to try and get those feed dogs down. All right, this is fun. I like chain piecing, but yeah, it's just it is a little awkward for me to chain piece while foundation paper piecing, but I think it's coming along. Different sound than the other one, that's for sure. This is that motor pulley machine where the motor just hooks up to a rubber disc, and that rubber disc, or rubber wheel, and that rubber wheel hits the big sewing machine wheel, the main wheel, and that's what turns it. It's just like one wheel on another wheel. There's no belt or anything moving things along. So it's kind of an old machine thing. This one's from 1937 versus 67. So a bit of a decade difference there. All right, this is the last one already. All right, let's bring that up and snip it. There we go. Uh-oh. I think I might have just ran out of bobbin. So that'll be interesting. I think I've only done this bobbin. Oh, I know there's something down there. It must have just broke. Oh, wait, is this the top thread? Something. Oh, no, I still have bobbin. Weird, it must have just broke. You know, I'm sure something's a little wrong or goofy, but these feed dogs are they're not sharp, but they are way sharper than any of my other machine feed dogs. So I wonder if there's something, like the way I'm pulling, I wonder if it's rubbing up against them somehow and getting torn. The top came out, so I gotta rethread it, which could be a little tricky. Come on, little guy. There we are. All right, good. Don't have to do the bobbin yet. Alrighty, so let's go over here to the little pressing mat here. got my ruler on, or my iron. So I gotta snip these yet. So since we chain piece them, they're all connected. I suppose if I keep them kind of in order, then they'll be in order when I lay them out again. Maybe I should have tried to do that. Oh, come on, there we go. All right, so here's our stack. So what we're gonna do now is, I like finger pressing them first. Oh, look at that fun little strip. So I'm gonna finger press them, and then we will get the iron in as well. So we're putting the printed side of that paper down, just so we don't get all that ink on the iron. But there is one more piece. So now we got 4 pieces on there. So this is the J section. I'm gonna flip them up now so we can just see what's next, and then we'll look at the whole thing when we're done later. So let's plop it down. What's next? Ooh, this is a long piece. Oh, this is one of the pieces that is done with now. So cool. We'll have deleted 2, or finished, I suppose is a better word. Finished 2 more pieces, 2 more strips. So I'm gonna set those aside with my other 2 that are finished. See, so this guy is done. This is the eye piece. So he is done. So we'll check on that later when we try and lay all this out again at the end. Okay, this is H. H has got a long way to go yet. But as we keep deleting these other pieces, it'll go a little faster. Okay, G. Ooh, I keep scooching my fabrics over. I gotta pay attention. I'm gonna lose my 1/4-inch seam allowance. So I keep making my fabric go further and further to the left. So for this next one, I gotta be sure to scooch it that way again. Otherwise, I'm gonna not be on my seam allowance anymore. So I gotta pay attention for that. Oh yes, Sahid. So this is a Panasonic cordless iron. So it has a base. So the base is plugged in, but when you take it out of the base, then it's totally cordless. It's amazing. It's one of my most favorite tools that I've purchased for this. I think I have a link below if you want to find out a little bit more about it, but it really is awesome. So it is electric, but it's cordless. So it does cool. Like if you don't put it back in the base, it will cool eventually, but not for a while. Not for, I mean, you know, it can go a stint without having to redo it or re-put it in the base. And you actually can't set it up on anything because it's pointed on both sides, which is cool when you can sew either way. But that's also a reminder to not just set it down, to just set it back in the base. But what's nice is I can have the base kind of far away, and you know I can turn it however I want, and it's not going to, like I'm not going to have a cord in my way. It's awesome. Flip it this way. Almost done here. Oh, did I press this one already? Oh, no, I didn't. Getting ahead of myself. This one too, I keep shifting down, so I gotta make sure that I have more on this side now than this, which is fine. We're gonna trim this all anyway, but I don't want it to go beyond my point, so I just gotta pay attention to where I place these. Okay, 2 more, and I think this is the C piece. We actually gotta put this one away too. This guy is done. Yay! So we have 4 finished sections now. So I'm stoked about that. Cute, 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 cute. Yep, this is the C section. All right, one more, the B, and then we can lay out more pieces. Oh, this too, I'm shifting down. I gotta pay attention to that. All right, there we are. That one's got a lot of pieces too. So let's lay it all out again here. So I have them in order, which is good. Skip that step. I'm going to scooch them all down too, so I have a little work area up here. Okay, what is next? We are on the 5-piece now. So we just finished the 4 in the section, in every section. We're doing all the same ones at the same time. So we just finished the 4. Now we're on to the 5. So I'm going to get all the fabric out for the 5-piece. This is a little white square again. And then I'm going to scooch these down even more. Then we'll do that seam allowance thing where we fold the piece over and cut our seam allowance. Okay, D5 is white. E5 is tan. F5 is white. Eliminated 2 that round, that's nice. G5 is white. Ooh, H5, we got a little strippy piece, just a little one. I wonder if we have a small cut in here. It doesn't really, oh, here maybe. Oh, nope, I think this is folded up, so this is actually, oh wait, no, there we go. That's a small piece. Let's just use this guy and I'll trim it later. So we're just gonna leave it long like that. And J5 is a white square. So only one tan one this time around. Okay, let's do our little folding stuff. So we're gonna cover up everything that happened before the 5-piece. And then we're gonna fold on that 5-piece line. Okay, and this time when I put my right sides together, see how much farther we are up there? I'm gonna shift it down a little bit to recenter it a little bit. So let's go right about there. Yep, that's better. In the future, can you make more lives with a punch needle? Ooh, I would love to. So Sahid, I will totally do that. Like I said, I was just cleaning here. That was kind of what my weekend was about. I intended to get a ton of work done, you know, a 3-day weekend kind of, and I was just gonna get caught up on some things, but I slept so poorly and just didn't want to do anything. So I cleaned all weekend basically. So we're vacuumed and I did like the deep cleaning, which is like some organizing. So I organized my craft space here again and you know, went through all the little mini like little shelfy areas here and moved things around and reorganized. So I found my punch needle stuff because I still have it out here. So I was thinking about that too, actually, just yesterday. So I would love to do some more punch needle on here. Okay, right and wrong side again. Okay, there we go. Yeah, that would be a lot of fun. Oops, let's leave it this way. Sounds like a plan. All right, so I'm going to scooch down here. Cover up. All right. that up. This is another one that it looks like I have to shift it over just a hair. Kind of recenter stuff. That's why testing this is good. We haven't done any of my normal like pin testing. You know, typically before I sew a piece on, I will pin test it to make sure it covers our area. And by pin testing, I just mean I fake sew by putting a pin where I'm going to sew and then fake press it. And then after the fake pressing it, like pressing it back, like with my finger over that pin, if it still covers the whole piece, like if it still covers the G5 piece plus our generous seam allowance, then I leave it. But here I haven't been pin testing, so look, all my fabric's shifting up. So now that I see that, I have to correct it by just shifting back down. All that's going to get trimmed, so no one will ever know that that's what was going on. But I'm glad we caught it now. Oh, here's the one with a little longer piece. That'll be cute. Here's the only one with a slightly longer piece this time. Alright, stick that guy on there. Alright, last one, and then we can sew again. That went faster. That's good. Faster because we got rid of 2 pieces last round. Oh, yep, Leslie Ann, I decided to come on here tonight. I wanted some sewing time here, and I figured, maybe everyone got their, like, celebrating or whatever in yesterday, and now they're getting ready for work and stuff again, so maybe this is, like, a good time to hang out again before that. Okay, we're ready to go. Let's go back to the machine. Oh, good. I'm glad, Leslie. Happy you're here too. All right, let's do this. Shift forward a little bit. Okay. So I'm going to grab from the bottom here again. Oop, I thought this is what I had lined up, but it's down here. All right. There we go. Sometimes it just spins a little bit. I think I might need to tighten that pulley drive, just making sure it's connected. I think that screw on there just comes loose a little bit, and I just need to tighten it up again. It's actually probably something I should check every time I use this machine. Actually, I think that's why I have my little screwdriver out here. I was supposed to check before I started. Oh well. I like having this little cutting board here. It's nice just to lift things and move things around. Slide things down easily when I need to. Kind of acting as a tray and a cutting board. Oops, this way. I almost sewed onto the fabric side. Like I need to sew on the line. Gotta see that line. Ooh, this one only has one more. Yay! He's gonna be done. Done too. My gosh, you guys, is it already 9:13? Holy cow! I feel like we just started this today. That's crazy. Alright, well maybe I won't be doing another round here tonight. This might be it. Oh, see now this one I feel like I need to shift up. Oh, it looks like I am. I need to shift it up a little bit more maybe. what ours was too, was 16. All right. Thread didn't break that time, so let's look at the chain. Boop, boop, boop. All right, so we will press these, and then I think we'll lay them out, and we'll be ready to go for tomorrow. Okay. I'm going to snip these all first, and we'll keep them in order again. Gosh, this F1 has, the whole entire thing is tiny squares. Crazy. Where are you? There. Okay, Oop. And this one's got the these little thread puppies I gotta cut off too. There we go. All right, let's finger press these and then press them. All right, and then we'll lay this out. I'm gonna lay them out in order here. I'm gonna flip them around already. Ooh, but that means let's get these guys in right away too. So H-I-J, J's up here. K. Okay, these guys not yet. Okay, this is H. All right. G is next. Yeah, these middle guys have a ways to go. Okay, so I shifted this one up, and now we're all centered again. See, I was going too far this way, so I shifted it up now. Now I'm centered on my shape again here. Oh, it is definitely coming together, though. I can't wait to show you guys over here. It's just going to be super tall, because remember, we got to suck it all in once we have all these done. It'll shift pretty dramatically then. It's like that horse block where it was gigungous and then shrunk way down, but had a million seam allowances. All right, the E one. Gosh, we're not quite done with this one. We have one more piece to do on here, so I don't think we're finishing any this time around. Ooh, I might run out of space on my board. Ah, boo! Might have to scooch all these down. I underestimated how big this was actually going to be vertically. D, C is done. B and A. Oh, yeah, it doesn't fit. Oh, well. It will just be dangling off the edge. B. And then A. A is falling off. All right, I'm going to show you guys. There we go. So here it is so far. It's coming along. So this is going to go shrink right up. You know, we got all of these pieces to do yet. So all this section. So everything on this side. So actually this half is done. This half is only partially done on a few pieces. So we got all this. And, you know, a couple down here, all of this, you know, and a couple on the sides here, all of this as well. But this side Done. So now we can start to see some of those long lines happening. This is gonna fall off. Oh, maybe not. It's hanging in there, but there we go. So we can start to see how these lines will be connecting. So I'm only guessing that we'll have like that same effect on this side once we get this done. But wow, crazy that something this big is going to end up being this tall. So we definitely have several more days on this if we're getting only like 2 sections in at once. I think that again will speed up because we keep finishing sections. So piecing that, and I think piecing this all together might take more than 1 day. So we'll see. Yes, reminds me of that too. Leslie says it reminds her of the Happy Trails a bit. It totally does too. The interesting thing though is that Happy Trails, that's the one with the horse that had all the tiny little pieces like this. It was not foundation paper piece. So that one we did all with piecing, just like sewing tiny squares together, versus this one where we have that guide of the foundation on the paper foundation. So we have that guide. So it should at least be perfect in this direction. We'll see how we do. So this one isn't quite as much of an exercise of how good is your 1/4 inch seam allowance, because we're just going to use the lines on there. But all right, so we will continue on that again tomorrow, you guys. I'm going to flip you around. All right, hello. So tomorrow, be on the lookout in your emails again. I know I've been sending a lot of emails lately, but I will show you the Finish It Friday project for this week, because it's September. It's going to be the first Friday of the month on Friday. And then I also am going to share a project that we'll be doing later in the month as well in that email. So watch that. And I will get this up on YouTube at Penguin and Fish Movies if you'd like to watch the replay. And then if you haven't seen any from this block, this Splendid Sampler 2 block, be sure to watch the first ones as well. And you can just zoom right through to what you need. That's, after it's live, then you can get the fast forward past me yammering. So that's probably nice. So, all right, you guys, I will see you tomorrow at 8:30 p.m. Central Time here. Have a great evening and have a good Tuesday. Good night.